Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss current affairs of 4th January 2022. In this lecture, we are going to discuss 6 topics which are very much relevant from our UPSC point of view. So now let us have a small introduction regarding which are the topics now we are going to have our discussion. So first topic is regarding India's rights record, America's blinkered vision. So this is about India America or India USA relations. So this article will be important from international relations. And next topic is about safety at all cost. So actually this article which is mainly talking about recent fire accidents in Tamil Nadu in fire workshops. Okay, so this article mainly talking about the safety. It is very much important and safety is paramount, especially in this fire work. So this is important from disaster management, which mainly comes under GS paper 2. So other than these two articles, in editorial page number 6, we have two more articles regarding COVID-19 vaccines. Already we discussed about that vaccines number of times. So please go through that article once. And there is also an article regarding this Atal Bihari Vajpayee. So already we discussed about some facts regarding this Vajpayee in our earlier lectures. So if you want, you can go through this article. Okay. So now let's talk about next topic. It is regarding this China constructing bridge on this Pongyong Lake in Ladakh. So this article, it is very important from our international relations and even a security point of view, because as you all know, so in March-April 2020, so at this LAC, line of actual control, so military standoff between India and China has been witnessed, and till now we went for different rounds of talks between India and China, but those talks have not gave the result, and there is no proper complete disengagement and status quo along this LAC. And now there are some reports which mainly says that here China is mainly going for infrastructure projects here, and it is mainly going to construct a bill. Okay, it is already constructing a bridge which is mainly connecting this north bank and as well as south bank. Okay, so what happened whenever there is no infrastructure or bridge between this north and south bank, so it need to come around this and it need to go or travel this area, and it need to reach this south, okay, South Pongyongso Lake area. But whenever it is mainly building this bridge between this north and as well as south bank, means it will be very much helpful for Chinese troops to reach the south bank very easy, and the time taken to travel here will be decreased, right? So these are some advantages for Chinese side. So it is one cause of concern for India. And next topic, it is about world powers vote to stop spread for nuclear weapons. So this article mainly talking about this nuclear NPT, okay, NPT treaty. So here we need to know about what is this NPT treaty and what is India's stand regarding this non-proliferation treaty. So this treaty which is mainly talks about is nuclear weapons. And next topic is about jobless rate hit high of 7.9% in December. So one important reason for this increasing of unemployment here is because of this Omicron. Because of this new variant of this Omicron, SARS coronavirus, that is Omicron variant, so most of the states, they went for restrictions again. So because of this, that led to decrease in employment, that led to jobless rate which mainly increased, especially in month of December. And here you need to understand about different type of unemployment that is present in India. So let me know, you are preparing for UPSC, right? So which type of unemployment that you will come under, okay, in comment box. And next topic that we are going to discuss, it is regarding India Israel in talks for free trade agreement. Here we need to focus on this free trade agreement, and here you have to know about Israel, okay, some facts regarding Israel, and you have to know about issue regarding Palestine and Israel. Already we discussed number of times, and now this is the time to revise that topic. And even you need to know which are the countries bordering this Israel, and even some important rivers, some important lakes which are present. So regarding map pointing also, it is very important. I already recorded one video regarding this Israel map, okay, Israel map in map pointing playlist. So if you want, you can watch that. That will give you some insights regarding this map pointing of Israel as well. So these are some important topics. Now we are going to have our discussion in this lecture. So let's get started with our discussion, and let us try to see first article. So title says India's rights record, okay, Title says India's rights record and America's blinkered vision. So this is talking about vision of America and as well as India's rights. So here if you are talking about why we are talking about this India's rights, because India is going to get this S-400 Triumph missile system from Russia. So whenever we are getting any defense system from this Russia, it is mainly going to be attracted under this CAATSA of USA. So what is this CAATSA? CAATSA, it mainly stands for Countering American Adversaries Through Sanction Act. Okay, so this is one important thing here. So it is a blinkered vision of USA, because America or USA, which mainly want to impose sanctions on its adversaries whenever any other country they are going for defense relationship with that countries, right? So because of this, whenever India has a right to procure some defense equipment, but here because of this CAATSA, which is India has some fear here. So even though fear India, it is mainly to get this S-400 Triumph missile system from Russia at any cost. Okay, so this is the one thing which mainly highlighted here. So now let us try to see what is the India's rights and as well as what is the vision of this America. So which is mainly discussed in this article. So here this article which is mainly focused on this world media, I skipped this world media. I think it is not much relevant. Okay. So now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So here what happened, why it is in news. So why India-American relations is in news. So recent Indian foreign policy which mainly had a record, like, so already you know that after US troops left Afghanistan, so Afghanistan which mainly came into hands of Taliban. So it is a mistake of USA. Whenever US which mainly removed its troops from Afghanistan, what happened now? Afghanistan which is mainly comes into hand of Taliban. So actually America entered into Afghanistan because of Twin Towers attack, right? So after this Twin Towers attack by Bin Laden, so US entered into this Afghanistan and did some operations, and finally US killed this Bin Laden, and they want to control this Taliban here. And later on what happened, there is increasing of troops that is seen in Afghanistan, but US mainly thought that whenever there is a US troops are present in Afghanistan, it is having some losses for US, because they need to finance this Afghanistan especially, and they need to finance this US troops, right? And it mainly started, and even when the president was Donald Trump, so at that time itself Donald Trump want to remove the US troops, and they came up with different rounds of talks, right? So after that they came up with Doha Agreement. So what happened after the many agreements? Now there is a complete withdrawal of USA troops that is seen in Afghanistan, and in August 2021, so this Afghanistan came under control of Taliban. So even though Taliban who are taking control of Afghanistan here. So if you're talking about recent India's foreign policy, it is mainly maintaining some good Indian relationship with USA. Okay, so even though after US left this Afghanistan, so even now we can see there is a successful and remarkable cordial relationship that we are having, that India is having with Washington, right? So if you're talking about this accommodative view between these two countries, so India is also considered as a critical ally of US. Okay, so India is also considered as a critical ally by the US, and also it is one of the only designated major defense partner. So for India, US is one of the defense partner, because we get much defense equipments from this USA, right? And recently ambassador designated to India, he told that few nations are more vital, okay, few nations are more vital to the future of American security and prosperity than compared to that of India. So because of this, we can say there is somewhat change in American policy, right? So Washington takes an accommodative view of widespread Indian downgrades in indices, which mainly consider credible in assessing democratic norms and human rights. So what happened, there are a number of indices that will be released. So in those indices, India, which is mainly performing somewhat poor, okay. So these indices which are mainly considered especially assessing this democratic norms and even human rights in India. So like Israel, India also finds that Washington embrace, which mainly provides a certain immunity from international criticism. So if you're talking about some details regarding the report, the first one here is US State Department Country Report on Human Rights Practices. Okay, so the US State Department's Country Report on Human Rights Practices, it mainly says that there is significant human rights issue that is seen in India. For example, there is extrajudicial killings are happening, and even torture in prisons, and arbitrary arrest and detention, and violence against minorities, mob lynching and harassment of journalists, and there is also censorship related issues and blocking of websites, especially in Jammu and Kashmir. So these are some important issues that are mainly seen in India. So because of this, there is evident that human rights issues are very much prominent in India. So this is the first report. And second one is India is also rated poorly by the US based Freedom House. So by this US rate Freedom House, it also rated India with a poor rank. And even Sweden's Sweden Institute, which mainly dubbed that there is electoral autocracy that is seen in India. And this one is, if you're talking about this World Press Freedom Index, so this World Press Freedom Index, which may be released by Reporters Without Borders, and it ranked 142. India's rank is 142. So in this way, what happened? US Commission on International Religious Freedom has for successive years, which mainly recommended that India should be placed in a country of particular concern. So because there is some ill treatment that is seen in Muslims and as well as Christians, and India also ranked in Open Doors World Watch List for extreme Christian persecution below Syria, Iraq and Saudi Arabia. So even US Commission on International Religious Freedom said that India need to be placed in countries of particular concern, because in India Muslims and Christians, they are mainly ill treated. Okay, and even if you're talking about Christians, so in this Christians persecution that is seen high in India, and this India's rank is below Syria, Iraq and as well as Saudi Arabia. So these are some reports which mainly says that there is human rights issues that are persistent in India, and there is no proper freedom, right? And even there is religious persecution that is present in India. So in this context, if you're talking about the role of US government, so US government has ignored all these findings. Okay, so US government has ignored all these findings and dismay of NGOs, non-governmental organizations and activists, because of soft power that is mainly showing by India, especially because of our Prime Minister positioning India as an indispensable partner of USA. So because of all these things, so what are the reports that are present? So those reports are ignored by USA. So in this context, finally author says that for the world's oldest democracy to arbitrate on fundamental rights of others is ironic for a country where in 12 months ending March 2021, so what happened in India, there are police who are murdered about 37 African American people per million against 15 per million whites. Okay, and even though in America also there are some issues that mainly happens, so we all know that India, it is a democratic country, and even USA, it is the oldest democracy. So we need to focus on the fundamental rights of people. And recently we know that the Summit for Democracy, which mainly hosted by US President Joe Biden also predictably confused about the participants, because not every democracy is liberal democracy, and not every society is considered as liberal is fully democratic. Okay, so because of this, there is some confusion between liberal and as well as the democracy. So here when we want to come up with this type of issues, and to resolve this type of issues, we need to come up with meaningful summits. Okay, meaningful summits should be the global in attendance, and we need to focus, or we need to concentrate on pressing problems such as inequality, such as climate change, arms control on earth and as well as in space. Okay, so this is the gist of this topic, and I want to ask you one question. So what are the differences? What are the differences and similarities? What are the differences and similarities regarding fundamental rights of USA and fundamental rights of India? So let me know what are the differences and similarities of fundamental rights of USA and fundamental rights of India. So every day I want to ask you one question such that it will be also helpful to cover your static portion as well. So now today's question is, what are the difference and similarities between fundamental rights of USA and fundamental rights of India? So where this topic can be related in our syllabus. So in our syllabus there is a one topic like comparison of Indian constitution with other country's constitution. So there we can get this type of questions. Okay, so write a note on differences and similarities of fundamental rights of USA and as well as fundamental rights of India. So this is about this topic, and now let us try to see next topic. Title says safety at all cost. Okay, title says safety at all cost. So this article, it is very important regarding this disaster management, especially it is related to firework industry in India. So where we can see firework industry, that is most commonly in Tamil Nadu. In Tamil Nadu, especially Sivakasi, it is an important area for this fireworks industry in India. So this article is important from disaster management. So now we are going to see what is this article talking about. So if you see central theme of this article, it mainly says that governments should ensure implementation of safety protocols in firework industry. So what happened? So there are large number of incidents that are seen in this year regarding accident in this firework industries. So in this context, it is a responsibility of government to implement safety protocols, right? So now let us try to understand what is the issue and what are the different causes for this accident in this firework industry and what is the way forward, which is important from our UPSC point of view. So if you are talking about recently the death of 4 workers on this new year day, that is on January 1st, happened in a blast at firework unit in this Kalatur village of Virudhunagar district, which is located in this Tamil Nadu. Okay, so in Tamil Nadu on New Year day, one fire blast happened in this firework industry that led to death of 4 workers. Okay, so here because of this incident, again it mainly says that we need to enforce proper safety protocols in industries, and we need to come up with the guidelines to deal with this hazardous process as well. Okay, so this is the context. And if you see what might be the reason for this blast, reason for this blast here is mishandling of chemicals. Okay, so because of this mishandling of chemical, that led to this blast. So if you see some background here, if you're talking about especially in Tamil Nadu, so in Tamil Nadu, thousands of workers, they mainly work in this fireworks industry, and these people, they are working in unsafe conditions. Okay, so thousands of workers, they are working in this firework industry in Tamil Nadu, and they are working in a very unsafe conditions. So because of this unsafe conditions, that is leading to series of accidents in this firework industries. So if you are talking about what will be the steps taken by government, so in short term, government will be taking some steps like registration and identification of case in that area, and they will go for arresting of person who is responsible for that so and so incident, and they will go for symbolic inspections for 2 to 3 days, and this one is there is issuance of warnings and as well as safety advisories they will be given. So these are some short term action, but they are not taking this long term action to prevent these incidents. So this is one cause of concern. This is one cause of concern. So if you're talking about what are the causes for this incidents, so first one is there is a large scale illegal subleasing of workers for licensed firework unit. So for licensed firework unit, they will be going for large number of illegal leasing of workers. And next one is there is a violation of limit on workers to be deployed. For example, in this so and so area, we need to employ 10 workers, but they will employ like 50 to 100 workers. So there is very limited spaces present. Okay, so there is violation on limit on the workers to be employed. And next one is there is a piece rate system that is regarding the payment. That means the payment to the workers will be given based on the number of fireworks which are produced by workers, not based on the time. Okay, so because of this, what happened, the workers who are working, they will be tempted to do more units per day. So in that busy, what happened at the end of the day, these workers will be tired of and they will be hurriedly emptied the semi-finished crackers. So because of this mishandling or without proper handling of that remaining chemicals, that will leads to accidents. And next one is there is also lack of trained workers are present, and because of this, what happen, new workers will be having a very limited skills, that will also lead to accidents. And apart from this, unlicensed units have been expanded. So because of this, what happened, that will also leads to accidents. So these are the 5 important causes for this increasing of fire accidents in this firework industries. So what is the way forward? So first one here is we need proper chemical supervision as well, because chemicals are very dangerous and that is leading to this accident. So there is a proper handling of chemicals will be there, need to be there, and even whenever the chemicals are given to the workers to prepare this crackers, so there is a proper supervision to be there, and they need to guide the workers like how to avoid or how to minimize this incidents. Okay. And next one is we need to go for periodic inspection of these factories, and we need to impose strict penal actions against violators as well. And here the role should be taken by both central government and as well as state government. And central government and state government, they need to provide needed manpower for enforcement agencies. Okay. And next one is we need to get some labor reforms in this firework sector, and we need to go for technological innovations especially in this sector to avoid this to prevent this deaths of these workers. So this is some way forward, and this topic is very important from your disaster management, and students who are going to write this year mains, they need to focus on this topic as well. And next topic, it is about China constructing bridge on this Pongyong Lake in Ladakh. So if you see this image, you can see this is the let me change the pen. So this is the north bank and this is the south bank. So between this north bank and south bank, they are laying this bridge. Okay. So this is a new bridge under construction joining this north and the south bank of this Pongyong Lake. So already we discussed about the background in introduction. So this article will be important from international nations, which mainly comes under the GS paper 2. So here you can get map based questions regarding this Pongyong Lake area. So now let us try to see this article in very great detail. Actually, I did some research regarding this topic and I got some more extra content from Indian Express and as well as the print. So if you see context, it mainly says that China is constructing a bridge in eastern Ladakh. Okay. So China has started constructing the bridge in this eastern Ladakh, and this bridge mainly connecting north and as well as south bank of this Pongyong Lake. So if you say this is Pongyong Lake, it is mainly constructing the bridge like this to connect this north and as well as south bank of this Pongyong Lake area. So here whenever they are building this bridge, so what will be the advantages whenever they are coming up with this type of bridges? So that will be very much helpful for this People Liberation Army, that is PLA Army of China, to move troops and to move equipment, okay, between these two sectors very fastly. So it will be helpful for Chinese. So if you are talking about details, it mainly says that on the north bank, there is a PLA garrison at this Kurnak Fort. So in this north bank of this Pongyong area, at this Kurnak Fort, so they are having this PLA, People Liberation Army garrison here. And on the south bank at Maldo, they are having a distance between about this two here is about 200 kilometers. So they need to travel around 500 kilometers especially to reach here, right? So what happened here, they need to move around this lake especially to reach this south bank Maldo. So whenever they are building this bridge, it is around 500 meters. Then that will bring down the movement time of these troops, and as well as it will be saving from 12 hours of time to 3 to 4 hours of time. So these are some advantages of building this infrastructure there. So this bridge, which is mainly located around 25 kilometers ahead of this line of actual control. Okay, so it is mainly located at 25 kilometers ahead of this line of actual control, and this construction has been going on for some time, and it would reduce the overall distance by 140 to 150 kilometers. Okay, so normally the distance here is 200 kilometers from here to here. So whenever they are building this bridge, and the bridge, it is about like 500 meters. Okay, bridge, it is about 500 meters, and it will mainly decrease like 140 to 150 kilometers. And next one is it can save the time from 12 hours to 3 to 4 hours. Okay, and in this way this bridge also provides a direct access, and in this way it is one of the big advantage, okay, for this Chinese. So now let us try to see some facts here. So as you all know, from April May 2020 onwards, there was a standoff between India and China across this LAC region, line of actual control region. Until now, there is no complete disengagement, and as well as there is no status quo that is mainly seen in this LAC region. So as you all know that this Pangyang Solo lake, it is like 135 kilometers long, and what happened, more than 2/3 of this lake which is under control of this Chinese now, okay, northern part which is present under this Chinese control. So what happened there in the northern part, we can see there is a Kurnak port that is present, and this Kurnak port here what happened, there was Chinese establishments are present there, and here they are mainly going for this building of this new bridge here near this Kurnak fort. So historically, if you are talking about this Kurnak fort, which has been under control of this Chinese and since 1958 onwards. Okay, so from this fort LAC, which is considerably west, with India's claiming it at finger 8 and China's claiming it at finger 4. For example, if you have, this is a Pangyang So lake area, so we are having the mountains here. So those mountains are named as finger 1, finger 2, finger 3, like that. Okay, there are 8 fingers here, for example. So India says that till 8th finger it mainly comes under control of India. Chinese says that no, till 4th finger it mainly comes under part of China. So this is the issue which is mainly going on. So if you're talking about the north and as well as south banks of this lake, they were among the several friction points. Okay, so across this north and as well as south banks of this Pangyang lake area, there are several friction points that are present between India and Chinese standoff here. Okay, so this is about some background, and if you are talking about some important facts here. So India, if you are talking about from India side, you might be having a question like, so whenever Chinese they are going for this infrastructure development in these regions, so what India is doing? So whether you might be having a question like, yes, India can also go for development of infrastructure, right? So India is also not quiet. India is also improving its infrastructure across its border areas. Last year, if you see this border road organization, so if you are talking about our roadways chapter in geography in static portion, so you might be coming across different national highways, different state highways, different express highways. So across these border areas, it is responsibility of this border road organization for development of roads, right? So in the last year, here border road organization which mainly completed more than 100 projects in these border areas. Okay, and India is also improving its surveillance along entire 3,488 kilometers boundary, and it is also being building new airstrips and as well as landing areas such that it will be helpful for easy movement of troops. Okay, and now let us try to talk about some facts regarding this Pangyang So lake. So if you are talking about this Pangyang lake, it is located in the Union Territory of Ladakh, and it is situated at a height of 4,350 meters, and it is the world's highest salt water lake. So it is the world's highest salt water lake, and it is extending almost 160 kilometers, and 1/3 of this Pangyang lake lies in India, and about 2/3 of lake which is lies in China. So these are some important facts that you need to remember. And now let us have a look over the map here. So this is the Pangyang So lake. Okay, so this is the Pangyang lake. Here we have this finger 4. So Chinese says that till finger 4 it will comes under this Chinese administration, but India says that till finger 8 it will comes under this India, right? So here the new bridge it is going to be built here. Okay, so if you see this image, then it will be like a much more clarity. So this is our Pangyang So lake. Here we have north bank and here we have south bank. Okay, it is mainly located in Ladakh, right? And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding world powers vote to stop spread of nuclear weapons. So this article talking about nuclear proliferation treaty, that is NPT, and this topic is also important from international relations, which mainly comes under our GS paper 2, and you can expect some prelims based facts regarding this NPT. Actually this topic is important from your mains. So now let us try to see this topic in a very great detail. So why does NPT is in news? So you have to know about context. So if you know context, if you say this context, it mainly says that 5 global nuclear powers, okay, 5 global nuclear powers, they are also called as Permanent 5 or P5 countries, they mainly pledged to prevent atomic weapons, okay, to prevent atomic weapons spreading and even to avoid nuclear conflict in a very rare joint statement, okay. So normally these countries, they gave joint statements that we need to prevent atomic weapons spreading and as well as we need to avoid nuclear conflict. So if you're talking about further more details, it mainly says that we believe strongly, okay, these countries said that they believe strongly that further spread of such weapons must be prevented, that is spread of this nuclear weapons that need to be prevented. It is mainly said by United Nations Security Council members, that is P5 members, China, France, Russia, UK and US. So this statement, which mainly issued recently in last review on treaty, that is non-proliferation treaty, which is regarding nuclear weapons. Actually this treaty came into force from 1970 onwards, okay. So actually the latest review that need to be present in this what happened because of this COVID-19 pandemic, which has been postponed, okay. So here already, if you are talking about different countries, the different nuclear weapon countries, for example China and Russia, they are having some differences that are mainly seen here. So in this context, they said that they need to avoid the war between this nuclear weapon state and they need to go for reduction in the strategic risk, okay, as well. So these are some important things, and now let us try to see some facts regarding this NPT, Non-Proliferation Treaty. So this NPT, it is a multilateral treaty, okay, and this treaty which is mainly aiming on 3 important things regarding this nuclear weapons, that is non-proliferation, it is mainly focusing on disarmament and even peaceful use of nuclear energy, okay. So these are the 3 important things which are mainly focused in this non-proliferation treaty. First one is non-proliferation, next one is disarmament, and next one is peaceful use of this nuclear energy. So if we're talking about what are the implications here, so before seeing this implication, actually this treaty is signed in year 1968 and it entered into force from 1970 onwards. If you're talking about 3 implications, first one here is states without nuclear weapons should not acquire them, okay. So for example, if there is a country which do not have nuclear weapons, means it should not acquire nuclear weapons. And states who is having some nuclear weapons, they should go for disarmament, that is dismantling. And all states can access nuclear technology, especially for peaceful purpose, for example nuclear reactors, but they should not use for preparing or making of nuclear weapons. And if you're talking about some key provisions regarding this treaty, so this treaty mainly defines nuclear weapon states, okay. So this treaty mainly defines what are these nuclear weapon states, okay. So nuclear weapon states means those states which had already manufactured and which are having some nuclear explosive devices and they are present prior to January 1st 1967, they comes under this nuclear weapon states. And if you're talking about at that time, nuclear weapon states were 5, they include China, France, Russia, UK and US. And this treaty does not affect the right of the state parties to develop, to produce and use this nuclear energy, especially for peaceful purposes. So if we're talking about what is India's stand on this nuclear proliferation treaty, so this will be very important from your means. Okay, so what is India's stand? Actually, India, it is one of the only 5 countries, they either did not sign, so India did not sign this nuclear proliferation treaty, okay. And next one here is those countries include Pakistan, Israel, North Korea, South Sudan. They also didn't sign this non-proliferation treaty because India says that this treaty which is discriminatory in nature, and because of this India refused to sign this treaty. Okay, so why? Because if you're talking about already some countries like P5 countries, they are having this nuclear weapons. Okay, so they are not going for disarmament or dismantling, so but they are saying that if the countries who are not having this nuclear weapons, they should not go for development of this nuclear weapons, right? So because of this, it is like a discrimination. So because of this, India did not sign this non-proliferation treaty. And next article, it is about jobless rate hit high of 7.9% in December. So this article mainly talking about jobless rate, that is we can say unemployment. It is talking about unemployment. So now let us try to see context and let us going to see some basic facts regarding types of unemployment. So if we're talking about context, it mainly says that India's unemployment rate which mainly hits 4-month high in month of December. Okay, in month of December, so we are having high rate of unemployment. So it is according to data released by CMIE. CMIE mainly stands for Center for Monitoring India Economy. Okay, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, which may release the report. It mainly says that there is increasing of unemployment that is seen in December month. So if you see some details, it mainly says that unemployment rate rose to 7.9% in December. Okay, there is increasing of this unemployment rate from 7% in November. In November it was 7% and now in the month of December we see it is 7.9%. So what might be the reason? So the reason might be there is increasing of this Omicron cases. So because of this Omicron cases, many states went for restrictions. So because of this, it mainly had some impact on economic activity in our country. And next one is urban unemployment rate. So if you're talking about urban unemployment rate, which mainly rose to 9.3% in December from 8.2% in previous month. So if you're talking about overall unemployment, when we are taking into consideration rural and as well as urban areas, so it was like a 7.9%. But if you take into consideration only the urban unemployment rate which mainly increased in month of December, that is 9.3%. Earlier it was like 8.2%. And if you're talking about rural unemployment rate, which increased to 7.3% and it was earlier 6.4%. So I am saying unemployment. So what is this unemployment? So unemployment means nothing but one person who is actively searching for employment but he is unable to find any work. So this condition is called as unemployment. So unemployment, it is often used as a measure for the health of the economy. Okay. So this is about the meaning of unemployment, and now let us try to talk about different types of unemployment which is present in India. And here this area will be important from your prelims and even from your mains. So first type of unemployment is disguised unemployment. So if you are talking about this disguised unemployment, so in this unemployment what happened? So if there is any organization, it needs 2 workers to work, but instead of 2 workers there are 5 to 10 workers are present. Okay, so this is called as disguised unemployment. So it is a phenomena where in more people or employment than actually required. So it is mainly seen in agriculture especially and even some unorganized sectors. And next one is seasonal unemployment. Unemployment occurs during certain seasons of year. For example, agricultural laborers, they will be getting work especially in Rabi season, Kharif season. But throughout the year, they will not get proper work, especially agricultural laborers. And next one is structural unemployment. So if we're talking about the structural unemployment, it's a category of unemployment which mainly arising with a mismatch between jobs available in market and as well as skills available in the workers. Okay, so there is a mismatch. So whatever the skills that are required for so and so company, they are not getting from people. So that we can see there is a structural unemployment that mainly seen. So what might be the reason for this structural unemployment? So there is no proper skill, there is no proper education. Okay, so and it is also very much difficult to train those workers as well because of low or poor education. So next one is cyclical unemployment. So this cyclical unemployment, which is main result of business cycle, where unemployment rises during recessions and declines with economic growth. Okay, so for example, we can see economic go down. So whenever economics go down means there is increasing of unemployment. So whenever economic is regaining means there is increasing of employment opportunities. So it is like a cycle thing. So cyclical unemployment figures in India, they are very much negligible here, and especially this type of cyclical unemployment that is mainly seen in this capitalist economy. And this one is technological unemployment. So because of advancement in the technology, so that is leading to loss of jobs, especially now robots are mainly used in some hotels and in some hospitals. So because of this, earlier who are working as waiters, they lost their employment, right? So even 2016 World Bank data, which mainly predicted that the proportion of jobs threatened by automation in India, which is 69% year on year. Okay, and next one is frictional unemployment. So this is very important unemployment. So what is this frictional unemployment means? So it is also called as surge unemployment. So there is a time lag between the jobs when individual who is searching for a new job or switching between the job. Okay, for example, if I left this job and if we want to search job in any other institute, means I need some time. Okay, so this time of unemployment of mine is called as frictional unemployment. So whenever an employee requires time for searching a new job or shifting from existing to a new job, and what happened, there will be leads to some time delay. So this causes mainly frictional unemployment. Okay, so this is often considered as voluntary unemployment as well. So even after your graduation, you will be searching for a job, especially when you are preparing for this UPSC and some other state public service examination. So here, this type of unemployment is called as frictional unemployment. And next article here is India-Israel in talks for free trade agreement. So before seeing this article, I want to make a small announcement on this platform. If you want to clear UPSC, I will suggest you to join prelims test series and as well as mains answer writing course which we are offering in our Rathod's IAS. So in this prelims test, we are providing 30 tests which includes both CSAT and as well as your GS. In GS, we have sectional test, we have revision test, we have our full length test, and we are also conducting tests based on our economic survey, budget and India yearbook as well. So these tests are very useful, right? So please try to join this prelims test series. That will be helpful to understand where you stand and in whether you are going in a right path or not. And next one is mains answer writing course. So as you all know, mains answer writing plays an important role in clearing this UPSC, especially we are focusing on our static syllabus like GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4 along with essay and case studies. So this course, it is highly beneficial, and there is a daily answer writing practice. On Sundays we have essay or case studies. So in this course we are going to write 27 essays and 26 case studies along with 300 plus answers based on our GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4 including current affairs related questions. So this course, it is highly beneficial. We provide you one-to-one mentorship, we provide you model answer, and also we provide you evaluation as of your answers as well. So this course is highly beneficial. The cost is very less, that is 7,200 for this mains answer writing course. If you want to get this type of course, you can search in internet for this type of courses. You can't get this type of courses anywhere in any institute throughout the country. So I will suggest you to join this course. That will be very beneficial. And yesterday on January 3rd, this course had been started. So you can join tomorrow till tomorrow, such that you will be having much guidance regarding this mains answer writing. And apart from this, we also launched this foundational course. So in this foundational course, we are providing more than 700 hours of recorded classes, such that we are mainly focusing on your concept clarity, and 100% concept clarity is assured here in this Rathod's IAS along with one-to-one mentorship. And if you want to take individual courses like economy, history, geography, science and technology, disaster management, environment and ecology, you can take those courses individually as well. So details of this course are given in description box, so you can have a look over that once. And if you want to clarify any of your doubts or queries, please call to this number 8074765513 and I will be addressing your queries personally. And next one is we also came up with this app of Rathod's IAS in Play Store. So the link is also given in description box. So if you want to download the app, you can also download that app. Okay, and now let's come back and let us see this next topic, that is regarding free trade agreement between India and Israel. So this article is also important from economy point of view. So if you see context, it mainly says that India is in dialogue with Israel for concluding a free trade agreement. Okay, so India is in dialogue with Israel to conclude a free trade agreement between India and Israel. So this is the thing which mainly said by our Commerce and Industry Minister. So if you're talking about further more details, he said that, so the announcement which mainly coincides with 20th anniversary of establishment of diplomatic ties between India and as well as Israel. Okay, and from both the sides, they also talked about high level visits and as well as new agreements between India and Israel. So let me know in which areas we have proper cooperation between India and Israel. So already we discussed about this topic in our earlier lectures. So please let me know in which areas we have cooperation between India and Israel, right? And next one is, this minister also said that bilateral free trade agreements, they are being negotiated with not only Israel but even with UAE, United Arab Emirates, and as well as United Kingdom, Australia, and as well as Canada. And this free trade agreement would cover a wide range of sectors. For example, it includes agricultural products and as well as even pharmaceuticals. So now let us try to talk about some facts regarding this FTA. So it is a pact between two or more nations to reduce barriers to imports and as well as exports among them. So under a free trade policy, goods and services can be brought and sold across international borders with a little or no government tariffs, quotas, and as well as subsidies, and as well as prohibition to inhibit their exchange. For example, there is a one country and there is another country. So whenever we are, for example, this is country 1 and this is country 2. So from country 1, so and so products are importing, okay. So and so countries products are importing for country 1. So what happened, the country 1 will be imposing some duties, that will leads to the increase in the cost of that so and so product, such that it will be not competitive. So in this free trade agreement, what happened, there will be reduction of tariffs, and as well as there will be sometimes no government tariffs will be present, and there will be no quota restrictions. Okay, so in this way what happened, that will be leading to increasing of trade between these two countries. Okay, so in this way I can say that this free trade agreement concept, which is very much opposite to this trade protectionism and as well as economic isolation. So this is just of this topic, and I hope it is very much clear. So by this I am concluding. Before concluding, I want to say one thing. Please subscribe to this Rathod's IAS and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos, and try to join this courses of this Rathod's IAS, and please have a look over the courses, okay, such that you will be getting some idea. So if you have any queries, you can call to the number, and the number is also given in description box. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much.